الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. If you want to chat, go to the small room. Go to the small room. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم. So Allah in the next 10 ayahs will talk to us about charity. But it's important to look how Allah views charity. Because in a way you should never think you're giving that guy money. You're giving Allah Azza wa Jal. And the reward from Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah Azza wa Jal gave us an example. The example of those who spend their money for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. It's like a seed, a single seed, grown and given 7 corns of grain, and each corn had 100 seed. So the one seed gave 700 seed. And Allah is the creator of the seed. So what Allah will give? Thousands and tens of thousands, millions of. So the reward from Allah Azza wa Jal is far much exceed what's your expectation. And Allah showed us that yes, you make effort to plant a seed, and the seed will reward you with a massive return. And so Allah Azza wa Jal. So you're dealing with Allah Azza wa Jal. You're giving for the sake of Allah. And Allah said, give it to that one, you give it to that one, give it to that one, you give it to that one. When the first war took place, Badr, the fighters used to take all the spoils, whatever get. So they might end having, like, if he killed 10 people, we'll take the spoils of 10 people. So Allah said, no, that's not on. So all the spoils, all the gains has to be divided by the Prophet ﷺ, and there is rule to that. And Allah sent the ayah of zakah. صدقات الفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها ومؤلفة قلوبهم. There were some portion will be given to the fighters, and some portion will be given to people who also were unable to fight. So everybody will have a share, but Allah decided where the money to go, and that started the zakah, the distribution of the gains, whether it's charity, whether it's zakah, whether it's land, whether it's government property. And Allah will multiply to whoever He wishes. Wallahu yudaifu liman yasha. Yudaifu, the word itself originally from daf, not daf, daf. So why Allah used the word da'af? Because when you gain twice as much, the first gain will become weak. There's nothing. Now you had 100, now you have 200. So it showed the 100 was little. And if you get 10,000, you'll find 100 is nothing really. We're giving us just peanuts and things, So Allah will multiply to whoever He wishes. And Allahu wasi'un alim. Allah is vast, and Allah is all knowledgeable about everyone, what he needs, what he should take or not take. And now our teacher is telling us that yes, you gain money, and Allah will give you, like, your wage could be like £3,000 or £5,000, whatever. But you don't count the passive gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. And he gave example, like if you go to home and your son is ill. We're talking from the point when there is no NHS in Egypt. So you end making, some drink and some things, and you give him paracetamol or calpol or whatever, and put some, cold towels on him and things, and temperature goes and he's okay the next day. The second guy, Allah doesn't want to give passively, so he goes there I get terrified. Oh, could be meningitis, could be measles, could be this, could be that. But I take him to the doctor, shift him to the doctor, and he pays the fees, and doctor prescribes some medication, some investigation, some this, some that, and you go again to see the doctor, you pay again. So you end having to pay a few £100. Or you go there and the car doesn't start. And the washing machine doesn't start, or the electricity went off, and you need somebody to come. Like I was giving my student example the other day that Allah Azza wa Jalla wants to give somebody 40 quid. So our microwave didn't work. So we thought the microwave backed off. Whenever we switch the microwave and goes off, the whole electricity goes off. And the second microwave did the same. So we thought microwave is 10 years old, so I have to get rid of it and buy a new microwave. So we bought a new microwave. I went off, and the whole electricity went off. So I said, must be the socket. So I opened the socket. I have good experience in electricity and good knowledge. Don't do it at home. You're not allowed unless you are qualified. But I tightened all the wires except one. It's a bit hidden and a bit tricky to get. And I shook it and it was okay. So it's usually thick wire, the socket going to the oven, and it didn't work. So I had to call the electrician. The electrician came and they checked this. Oh, that's loose wire. The wire I didn't tighten. So how much you want? We gave him 40 quid. And nothing wrong with the previous microwave. So instead of throwing it away, we made use of it, and we gave it. We haven't got any money from Talha, but I hope it's working. Is it working?
They're working very well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. But so we lost £40, so we gained the microwave. The microwave we bought was £300 or something. So passive loss and passive gain sometimes. So Allah want to that guy to get 40 quid, and I actually put the microwave in Facebook to sell for 25 quid. So I took the advert because the microwave was working, but the oven wasn't working. When there is too much electricity, it seems to break. But anyway, he pointed, and that's really true. There's a lot of things you don't count as gift from Allah, but it's actually a gift. Your house didn't flood. Well, many houses flood. Your house didn't, like, they went to Sweden and you have to remove all the snow from the roof. Otherwise, your insurance will be invalidated, because if the snow, because there the snow will be 2 meters, will drop the roof. So you need to always remove the snow from the. So alhamdulillah, we don't have that to remove the snow. And we have so much. I mean, they digging the entrance to his sister's house is just 1 meter on each side, the height. So you need to, and they will not remove your snow in your drive. We need to remove the snow to get out to the main road. So that's the gift from Allah, which we don't count. So Allah Azza wa Jal say, الَّذِينَ يَنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, and that's another rules. So you spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, get multiplied. But here you spend for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, but you should never ever remind people or hurt them because you gave them. We have in Syria a proverb. Some people put it in their cars and some people put it in their shops. اتقي شر من أحسنت إليه. If you are good to somebody, avoid his harm. Because usually people like to be helped, but they don't like to be reminded. You don't like the hints. So they might snap back. Oh, yeah, I was, case the day I borrowed from you or whatever. So Allah is making us say, really careful. Never ever remind people what you gave. Obviously, never hurt them as well. So those who actually remind people, keep reminding them, nagging them. Oh, remember when you when you came to your house, I came to your house and I found you. And Allah just said, those who don't do that, they will have their rewards from their Lord, and there will be no fear on them, and they will not be sad. لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. They will never be sad, they will never be frightened. And Allah Azza wa Jal said, commenting on that, قول معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة يتبعه أذى. If somebody comes to you and sometimes they nag you too much, or they will pardon you. Oh, I've seen you spending here, I've seen you spending there, can't you give me just 200 quid or whatever? So they they annoy you and they antagonize you until you lose your control and you start answering back. And Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying here, no. Just answer politely and businesslike, or explain your condition, whatever, and pray for them and forgive them if they are charged, because they are in need. He's desperate to get his children treated or get the car running and get the bill paid. So it's better for you to explain to them and forgive them if they are went outside the norm, and better than you give them and you keep reminding them. Better than charity followed by reminder and hurt, continuous nagging and hurt. And that you need to be careful, not even your children do it, or your wife. Oh, my husband did this for you. My husband did that for you. Didn't my son do that for you? And you try to. So you better sometimes not let even your wife know, or your husband know, or the children know. Because this is, maybe my dad gave him this. That's really hurt sometimes and causes trouble to people. So قول معروف ومغفرة خير من صدقة. It's better than a charity followed by harm. And Allah Ghani, Allah doesn't need you. Allah wants to reward you through you. That guy got the money, but it's from Allah. It's the money of Allah Azza wa Jal. So what happened now? You get rewarded, but you get punished if you use it as your money and you gave him. And it's your land, they asked you, allow them to use it. It's your bike and he used it. Wallahu Ghaniyun Halim. Allah is rich and Allah is forbearing.
Is there an exception of this situation? Like, I heard that husband has a right over his wife. He can say this to his wife, if needed. I did it for you, this. The husband has a right to.
The Prophet ﷺ said to the women when he was collecting charity from them, and he said to them, donate, because I have seen the majority of people in hell are from women. And they asked him why. He said, because yakfurna al-ashir. So yakfurna al-ashir, they deny the husbands all the gifts he gave them in their life. Oh, you never bought me, you never did this, you never did that, and 40 years I've been with you, never took me on holiday, you never did. Yakfurna, deny the favor of the husband, the extra. And could be, this is why trigger a lot of argument and fight. But here, no, he's talking here about other people. The same if your wife, you just, oh, didn't I do this for you? Didn't I do that for you? It would be trigger more fight and argument and leave it. If you are going to remind people, never do it. This is what the ayah is saying. If you're going to remind people and nag them and hurt them, you better not do it from the start. I'm a weak person. I might come and remind you with this. I come, and keep, checking that. How is the car I gave you? How is the pen I gave you? How is this? Did you enjoy the holiday? We bought you the ticket. That's it become nightmare. That's why people who you do favor to them sometimes escape you. They hide from you because they don't want to face you to remember that you gave them this or you helped them with that. والله غني حميد أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى. So here Allah Azza wa Jalla advising the people, the believers, that do not invalidate your charities by reminders and by hurting people. It's like the one who you become like the one who's showing off, and spend his money for the sake of people to get MPA, or get mentioned and given some reward or some medal, whatever. But he doesn't actually believe in Allah and the hereafter. He just wants the fame. And his example, like the example of like a rock, when the water drop on it, instead of absorbing the water or growing vegetation, whatever, the land or the soil become very smooth, very hard, and you get nothing from it. Neither contain the water nor grow any plant. And they will get nothing the day of judgment, and Allah Azza wa Jal will not guide those who are kafirin. So this is, you think that the water is, oh good, the water coming and going to grow my plants, while it's actually left it even worse than before, became even more hard to grow any vegetation in it. So that will be the one who actually give charity, showing off, and nullify his. It's like we have a neighbor, he died recently, and he had a floodlight outside. So when we pray Fajr, and people walking with the dog, and I said to my wife, "Will he get rewarded for for the floodlight?" But I don't think he put that the floodlight. He put it because they had 2 expensive cars, and he wanted the floodlight to deter the thief. And the next ayah, مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله وتثبيتا من أنفسهم, those who spend their money for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, hoping to get the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, and to control the part of their nafs, part of their soul, which is always trying to avoid giving and accumulate the wealth and accumulate the money, and to also prove to Allah Azza wa Jal that yes, they are obeying Allah Azza wa Jal. They are like a hill, rabwa, a bit high, but the water come from the top, and the water come from the rain is actually more beneficial to all the land, and it gives twice as much crops as expected. And if it didn't get that much water, get a little bit, فَطَلْ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. So his example is like the land which gets the reward from Allah Azza wa Jal and grow twice as much crops as expected. And Allah Azza wa Jal is all aware what you do, and He sees you. Wallahu bima ta'maluna basir. Allah Azza wa Jal see always all what you're doing at that time you're doing it. And followed by another ayah and giving example here that don't be like the one, because if you spend your money and on top of spending your money you are reminding people and hurting them and showing off, so you get no reward and you lost the money, and you go to the day of judgment to Allah Azza wa Jal, nothing there, all wiped off. We come to all the world, the deeds they did, the day of judgment, Allah make it like a sand in the heavy wind, thrown all over the place. Just all what he did, not counted. And he gave example to that. Would the one of you like, if you have a big farm and there's trees, date trees and grapefruit trees there, and there's rivers come from within. He said, تجري من تحتها. You will see in the Quran, تجري تحتها الأنهار, تجري من تحتها. The difference is means you have your own spring coming from your own land. So it's not coming from somewhere else, and people might cut it off and stop the water coming to you. No, you are in charge of your own water because the spring is in your own land. من تحتها, from underneath this farm, and it bring all sort of fruits, and you became old. فَأَصَابَهُ الْكِبَرُ, became old, but you have small children, and a tornado came, and the tornado has fire within it and burned everything gone. So what will you do? You are unable to work anymore, and you have small children left with no food and no income. And that's what will happen to you the day of judgment. You think you have donated the money, but in fact, because of the hurting people whom you donated and reminding them and nagging them, you get nothing the day of judgment. كذلك يبين الله الآيات لكم الآيات لعلكم تتفكرون. So Allah will show you these verses and these occasions, so you might think before you remind people. I found the easiest way to lend people if they want to borrow money is to give the money. just donate the money, or like some of the pious people, they just ask, they feel you are in need for money, and can you keep this £1,000 for me, I might need it, I might ask you to transfer it to me, whatever, I'm going away, but then you phone him, I don't need this 1,000, just you use it, whatever. So you don't show him that you are giving him money. So to find a way to take that people out of your mind, so you don't remember them even sometimes, might, oh no, I didn't give him any money. Yeah, my father, somebody phoned me, said, oh, my father wrote in his book that you gave him. I said, no, I can't remember it. When was that? I said, no, you're mistaken, probably somebody else. So that will be, take it totally out of your mind. You give it to Allah Azza wa Jal and says with Allah. And then Allah Azza wa Jal said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم. Here what you need to give is from the best of what you earn. It's not like, a shirt which is 10 years old or trouser 10 years old and you give it away. No, you give from the best of what you would dress, the best of what you eat, the best of what you dress, the best of what you use, gadget you actually like it and cherish it. وَمِمَّا أَخْرَجْنَا لَكُم مِّنَ الْأَرْضِ. Even crops, you should pick the right ones and the good ones to give it. And don't choose the bad ones. وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَ. Just, the animal about to die, you might die tomorrow, we'll give it away. Or the crops will rotten, you give it away. No, you need to actually give from the best of what you have. Because if it was you won't take it. You wouldn't like to take it. And if you only take it, just say, okay, we'll take it. Just you close your eyes and take it. ولستم بآخذه إلا أن تغمضوا فيه. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ حَمِيدٌ. Again, Allah is the source of all the things, and He is the one who will thank you for your donation. So it has to be what you really like. It's like, I want to donate some, a shirt or shoes, but it's new. Why are you donating it? Donate that. I'm not using it. Many people have clothes they haven't used for 10 years, probably. And why is stuck in the cupboard? So why you send away this coat? Because I like it. Can you say that? Because I like it. It's really good. Looks nice on me. This is why I want to give it as charity. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, الشيطان يعدكم الفقر. Every time you try to spend, shaitan appear. Oh, you'll be poor, you will run out of money. Remember, you are retired now, or your job is low come and you don't have permanent job, you don't have enough income. Shaitan will always remind you that you might get poor by giving away. And Allah Azza wa Jalla promised you forgiveness from Him and give gift from His bounty. And Allah again, wasi'un alim, and Allah has the vastness of the universe He created, and He will give because He knows who deserves to be given or not given. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, those who are wise enough, they will know that Allah Azza wa Jalla will multiply to them in this life and the next life, because Allah gives through people. Allah doesn't send money from dropping from heaven. Although we have the solar panel now getting us £600 a year, that's dropped from heaven. But Allah will give through other people, and it's good for Allah to use you as an agent. Because sometimes, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure Athar, when he goes to distribute the money, you feel happy yourself, isn't it? Yeah. When you give the people, when we went 3 times to the refugee camps in Syria and in Jordan, and we we cry when we give the people. That's, it seems that happiness, a cry of happiness. It's really, and we said, it's not my money, it's actually people donated. It's okay, that's through you. You brought it. This from so and so. Like a lady, an old lady, we put her name recently on the list to give that food basket, and we give money. And she insisted on my nephew to send me the recording, thanking and things. And same they told her he was in hospital, so he sent another one praying and things. She's, I never met her, I don't know her. I don't even know who she is or where she lives or whatever. But it says not us, some people, but so if you're wise, you gain the love of people in this life, and Allah will make your life easier and will multiply what you give and guarantee your life for a long time to come. And if you are given the wisdom, what's wisdom? Wisdom, my teacher used to tell us, doing what's necessary, the way, on the right way, to the right people, in the right manner, in the right place, the right time. So it has to be many things right. If you give it to the wrong people, you're stuck. If you give it in the wrong time, if you give it in the wrong way, in the wrong manner. So you have to be really wise how you give people without putting them or embarrassing them. And then that's the last one, or is one for وما أنفقتم من نفقة أو نذرتم من نذر فإن الله يعلمه. Whether it's charity you give or whether you promise to give something, because the nether is you make an oath, intention, and people know about it. If you say it in your mind, it's not actually nether, but if you say it and people know, heard you, your wife, your children, your friends, or whatever, obviously have become farad to fulfill your nether, and Allah knows about it. And those who refuse to give charity or refuse to fulfill the nether, the promise, Allah Azza wa Jal consider them zalimin, unjust, wrongdoers. And again another one, in تبدوا الصدقات فنعم ما هي وإن تخفوها وتؤتوها الفقراء فهو خير لكم. Whether you donate openly, whether you donate secretly and you give it to the poor, it's better for you. Because here when you give, people don't know who is giving them. I mean, like most people who we give in this food basket, we never met them. We don't know who they are, and they never met us. And so there's always no chance to remind them or hear them. But also sometimes might be important to even hide it from your wife, from your children, from your neighbors, from your boss. And there's many ways to donate without actually telling your name. Many charity could put, unknown donor. And Ali Zain al-Abidin used to give so secretly to people that nobody knew he was the giver until he died. When he died, first all these stopped coming, and they found the scars on both shoulders. He carried the things and go. So imagine, nobody knew until he died that he was the one who go from house to house to house to house. The same when Abu Bakr also was looking after families. Nobody knew that he was doing that. And then Sayyidina Umar discovered that, and he said, oh, how greater Abu Bakr was than him. And Allah will forgive your sins, and Allah is again بما تعملون خبير. He is all acknowledged. He is all aware of what you do. I think we'll stop here, inshallah. We'll go to the topic. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت الحمد لله رب العالمين. We'll make the dua at the end, inshallah.
Our teacher used to say, Shaitan encouraged you not to give when you're giving for the sake of Allah, but when you spend for the bad things, Shaitan never say you will be poor. You go to gamble, Shaitan never comes say, oh, you become poor, don't give. No, this is how it says, and this is how you distinguish which one's good, which one's bad. It happened with me in COVID.